I'm pretty sure I saw a serial killer eating breakfast yesterday.
Really?
He just had that feeling.
The odds are we've all seen a serial killer at some point eating lunch or dinner or breakfast.
I know a guy who was stuck in traffic once on the 101, and the car in front of him, one of the brake lights just popped off, and a finger came out and started wiggling around, so he called the cops. Guy had kidnapped a girl, put her in the trunk. That makes you wonder, when you're stuck in traffic, what is in the cars around you?
That is frightening.
Isn't that terrifying?
That is
Especially
frightening.
when you're on the 101. There's so many cars. Serial killers. We were going to talk about serial killers.
My grandmother always said, referring to ghosts and being scared of ghosts, it's not the dead people you should be afraid of, it's the ones who are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wait, the ghosts that are alive?
Yeah, the dead ghosts that are alive.
Pre-ghosts.
People wearing like a white sheet. Generally,
Yes.
you should be afraid of people
Stay
wearing white
away
sheets.
from
All
that.
of those things. All of the above.
My favorite horror movie, I guess you can call it horror, it's maybe a psychological thriller, is The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
Yeah,
Also.
I consider that a horror.
It is a horror movie. It's offensive that the only way they could get it to win Best Picture was to call it a thriller, and it is a full-on horror movie. I'm sorry. It just is.
I mean, the imagery and the things that happen in that movie.
The content, I mean, it's scary as balls.
Yeah,
balls
you're-
are scary, too.
Yeah.
Some balls scarier than others.
Yep.
It's the idea that someone can actually do these things.
Yeah.
That is scary.
It's based on, reality, like the perversions of the human mind. It's just, they know no bounds.
Yep. So serial killer movies. There's one coming out this month. It's a little movie called Halloween with Michael Myers.
Technically,
He's definitely a serial killer.
So that's a horror film, but any other movie like Seven isn't a horror film because Kevin Spacey's in it. I don't know.
It makes it more of a horror
movie
film,
now.
yeah.
Looking back, somehow
that was more of
intellectual.
a procedural, whereas like you're following the detective.
But Loomis is technically a detective character in the original Halloween.
He is.
Technically.
He's a doctor.
The cops in Haddonfield are definitely not up to this, so he's got to
Sheriff
do it himself.
Went with him.
He went with him, just to you need that door open. No one's going to call that a thriller. No one's going to call any of the Halloween movies a thriller. Yeah, it's a horror movie, and rightfully so. It is a horror movie.
Zodiac.
Fincher, man.
Yeah,
Fincher.
And he's really good at horror.
When those two kids get it, when they're making out in the wheat fields or whatever they're in, I don't know. It's all golden and beautiful looking, but something that happens in Halloween a lot, not necessarily a picnic, but kids making out and then they get killed. But something about the way Fincher did it, man, it just seems so freaking real, and I didn't want to watch it.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's something real about that.
Because it happened.
It actually happened.
There is that.
It adds another level of scariness to it. Also, the cool thing about the reconstruction of the actual murder scenes was that they were all individually based on the different police reports.
Yeah.
So when Fincher was reproducing them, he used a different actor, I think, each time for the killer, and basically had them match the description, even though later they sort of figured out it was the same guy.
Yeah.
So
They were all different description of who the killer was from each
They never
eyewitness report.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They never
found him,
the
no.
Zodiac killer,
Never
so
found
we
him.
don't know.
Ted Cruz
it's definitely
is the rumor. Come on, Pedro, take out the Zodiac. Anyone who's into horror movies should see Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
That's a good.
Michael Rooker's first starring role.
Yeah, real.
He's
time.
like 27 or
yeah,
something.
and he is just absolutely brilliant.
And Sid Haig, who plays Captain Spaulding in The House of a Thousand Corpses and all that stuff, he plays Henry's roommate. It's so disturbing and so well done, and the stuff that they don't show you is the scariest part of that movie. Like, there's a great part where they've set up Henry as this serial killer, right? You've seen him kill. He's just driving along the road. You see this girl with an acoustic guitar case. She's hitchhiking. He pulls over, lets her in. You don't see anything after that. But when he comes home to his roommate, he's got a guitar. He's like, I got you a present.
that is creepy.
That's terrifying.
yeah,
You know?
let's the mind do all the work.
Yeah. Scream.
Lot of-
Great serial killer movie.
Again, I mean, yes, technically a serial killer movie, but not really. Kind of, it's a slasher movie. Like
Slasher and serial killer, the same thing.
that's my point. That's
Yeah.
my
Are they the
point.
same thing, though?
Well, it depends on, like, Halloween slasher movie, Scream slasher
Maybe there's
movie.
a certain intellectual threshold.
Yeah, well, there's also certain rules that some movies follow,
Yeah.
and you're not following the cops. You're not following their detective work. You're following the victims.
Yeah,
You know.
the final girl or
Like,
Interesting,
The
yeah.
Strangers isn't about the cops who go to the crime scene. It's
No.
about how the crime scene came to be in existence,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Which is another terrifying movie. I dare you all to watch that movie by yourself with the lights out No one home. Let me know when you're doing it so I can knock on your windows and stuff.
Scare the hell out of
Really
you.
scare the hell out of you.
Did you see Dahmer?
Oh, the one where he's in high school?
Yeah.
I did not see that one, but I know what you're talking about.
That movie revolves around his first supposed murder that I think he didn't quite confess to.
Okay.
But they kind of traced it back to
You're
him.
like, this is probably him.
You don't necessarily see it happen, but you see the build up to it
Yeah.
and the aftermath.
I think there's a lot of room to redo some of these stories because some of these serial killer movies were just total failures. The original Dahmer one that I saw, that was like...
That was with Jeremy Renner. He played Dahmer, yeah.
No, I'm thinking there was one that was done, I feel like it was done for TV or something like that.
Leatherface?
Leatherface is a serial killer. I would put him in the serial killer class more than I would Jason Voorhees. He's supernatural, and my favorite version of Michael Myers is not supernatural, so I put him in there.
Yeah, he's just really resilient.
He's very resilient. He definitely becomes supernatural, especially after part 3, where suddenly there's this, like, he's got the, like, tattoo.
He's not in part 3.
No, after part 3.
After part 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The return of Michael Myers.
Yeah, it took him a movie to resurrect.
Well, yeah.
Off screen.
He's got to
That's the
heal.
smartest thing to do.
He got blown up at the end of part 2. He's got to take a full movie to put those pieces back together.
What's the best thing about these movies? Michael Myers. Let's not have him in the next one.
Well, here's the thing is, John Carpenter was way ahead of his time.
Yeah, I know.
His original idea for Halloween was the Michael Myers thing, but then Halloween 2 was going to be a different story that takes place on
Correct me if
Halloween.
I'm wrong, though. Halloween wasn't his idea. Halloween was the producer. I can't remember his last name, but he was like, "I've got like
I want to do an anthology."
Yeah, I've got a small amount of money, and do you have any scary ideas? And he kind of like with his wife was like, "Okay, let's come up with a scary idea."
And originally it was called The Babysitter Murderer.
Yeah,
which not as clever of a title as Halloween. But then he was like, "Okay, I want to do the next movie." Will be a different story, takes place on Halloween, and just you can do as many movies as you want. Halloween did so well, they had to do part 2 with Michael Myers, and then part 3, John Carpenter's, we're doing my original idea. I want to do a movie without Michael Myers, takes place on Halloween, it's scary. And if you pull that movie out of the Halloween movies and just call it Season of the Witch, it's a damn fine horror movie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's in there, so you can't help but compare it to the first 2 movies, which are 2 of the best horror movies ever made.
or compare it to Nicolas Cage's Season of the Witch. Really, you shouldn't compare those 2 movies.
Like, ultimately, what do you think is going to bring in audiences? What do you think is going to scare the pants off of us? Besides the Brett Kavanaugh hearings.
Yeah, it's just our Senate, really.
Yeah,
It's just the future of America.
yeah.
Let's talk about that in the next episode. Well, I've been Aristotle. This is Lee and Sam, the Boxleitner Brothers. This is Boxtober. And we'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. The Boxleitner Brothers will be here all month. Remember to like, share, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those notifications for some more BOXTOBER.
Yep.